Hey mamas, what's up? Happy Wednesday. Just popping on here quick because I wanted to talk to you guys about me time. We talk about me time so much as moms. I think it's one of the things that we're always, trying to get more of because our lives are, essentially consisting of constantly giving to everybody else. And so one of the things that I find happens a lot with busy moms is they're messing up their me time. And you have all the best intentions in the world, and you feel like you're doing what you can to give yourself what you need, but the truth of the matter is that 9 times out of 10 what you're doing is actually setting yourself back and making yourself feel even worse. And so I just wanted to kind of talk about what that looks like today for most moms from what I'm hearing, and how we can make it better so that you can maximize your me time. Because honestly, if we only have if we've only got 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour of the day to ourselves, I want to make sure that you're doing the most to be able to maximize it so that you can get the most out of it. And so here's what I'm hearing from a lot of you. So, and honestly, if this is you, throw up a hands up or, give me a little because 9 times out of 10, when I'm talking to moms, their me time is at the end of the day, once the kids are in bed, and you're exhausted. And so what your me time is looking like is you're sitting in front of the television, you're scrolling on your phone, you're munching on bad food, and you're doing it because you're like, I'm exhausted. This just feels really good. I just want to zone out in front of the television. I just want to comfort myself with delicious snacks. I just want to veg on the couch with my husband or my partner. And I think the worst part about this is that we trick ourselves into thinking that this is our self-care, when in reality, it's flipped. Because if you want to maximize, if you want to get the most out of your me time for yourself, don't give it to yourself at the end of the day. Because I'm telling you, mamas, you're giving yourself crumbs. That is when, like I said before, we're exhausted, we're spent, we have absolutely nothing left. We just spent an entire day giving to everybody else, and then we leave ourselves the crumbs at the end of the day. So of course you're vegging out in front of the television. Of course you're wanting to zone out and just, crash wherever you are and, maybe scroll on Instagram, maybe, whatever. Watch a couple episodes of your favorite Netflix show. But that's not how you get the most out of your me time. How you get the most out of your me time is by flipping it. So you have to make sure that it's at the beginning of the day. Which I know for a lot of you, you're like, Lindsay, oh my God, I'm so how I can't even get up in the, I'm hitting snooze every single day. I can't get up. That doesn't even make sense for me. But the reality is if you skip the Netflix, skip the scrolling on your phone, and go to bed because that's what you really need, then when you get up in the morning, you're going to feel refreshed, revitalized. You're going to feel amazing, and nobody else is going to be up. So you get to do whatever you want to do, whether that be journaling, whether that be going to the gym, whether that be just sitting for an hour, reading a cup of reading the paper and having a coffee, making yourself lunch for the day so you feel prepared, looking over your schedule so you know what's on deck and you're ready to tackle the day. And so I think that this is the really big misstep that a lot of moms have, because we're classifying this as me time, but in actuality, we're not giving to ourselves. You know what I mean? Because we have nothing left to give at the end of the day. So if you flip it and give it to yourself in the morning, you are giving yourself the best of yourself. You get the most out of you every single day. And I got to tell you guys, I was not always a morning person, and I used to be up late at night, scrolling, watching it, doing the whole thing. And then the moment that I flipped this and I was able to give myself time in the morning, I finally started to feel a little bit more organized in my life. My lunches were made. I felt more able to tackle the day. Eventually I started going to the gym because, I had this hour or however much time I gave myself, and I started to feel better. And so I think that this is really important. The other thing that I would say is the reason why you want to get off the screens and get to bed is because if there's one thing that could be blocking your weight loss, It's the fact that being on those screens every single day, super late at night, is messing with your circadian rhythm. And so your circadian rhythm is your body's just natural alignment with daylight. And so essentially what that does is, because you're on the screens getting that blue light, it's messing with your system. So the blue light is actually, as you should be winding down towards the end of the day, the blue light is like sparking your energy. It's, activating your hormones when they should be getting ready to go to sleep. And so it's going to disrupt your sleep. You're not going to have as solid of a sleep, which means between those key hours at night when you should be sleeping, there's a window between 11 and 2 a.m. where you should be sleeping, where your body does that deep work to help reset itself. If you're on your screen, that window where your metabolism resets, where your body restores itself, where it does all of that deep work that it needs to do to make sure you're functioning properly the next day, is going to be disrupted, which is why it is so important to not watch TV and to get off your phones. We don't even keep our phones in our bedroom. I have my phone outside. I keep it in my office actually in the morning. I keep it in my office and I don't look at it. I give myself at least an hour buffer before I go to bed, and it is like screens off, because I want my body to be able to get into that deep sleep mode so that it resets, so that my metabolism can restore itself. And so the next day when I wake up, my body's feeling revitalized. So if you're stuck in this cycle, what I would recommend, there's two different things that I would recommend to do. The first is to recognize the pattern that's causing you to do this. So if you find that after dinner, when the kids are in bed or whatever, you guys are all just like lying on the couch or whatever, you have to break it immediately. And so you have to start with a new step. So just implement a really simple new step. So instead of heading towards the couch, maybe go upstairs, grab a book, lie on your bed, like something super simple. Or say to yourself, although it's really challenging nowadays with Netflix and streaming, I'm just gonna watch one show. 9 times out of 10 we get looped into so many, which is why it's so hard to get off. But that's what I would say. Try to break that pattern immediately. So if you know that, it's dinner, everybody, you clean up after dinner, everybody heads to the couch to chill out, right there and then, as soon as you press start on the dishwasher after you've cleaned up the kitchen, you want to go upstairs and take yourself out of that situation. Then the next thing that I would do, and the next thing that I would suggest, is to put it in your calendar. I did a whole training in the Nourish the Weight Loss System for Busy Moms group last week about how the number one reason why we don't achieve our goals is because all we ever do is talk about them. We just talk about them. I want to go to the gym, I want to meal prep, I want to do all these things, but we never put it in the damn calendar. And the reason why I say that is because when you write it down and when it's in the calendar and everybody around you knows that this is your time to do it, you set the intention to get it done. It's up to you to follow through and make sure that you do it. But having it in the calendar, I can tell you right now, is the difference between you getting it done and you being like, I'll do it tomorrow. But if you actually block the time, if you set aside the time and make the intention to do it, it's more likely to get it done. This goes back to so many things because, whenever I talk to moms, they're always like, I just can't find the time and I can't find the time. And I'm like, it's a lie. You can't find time. Nobody finds time. You have to make time. You have to be intentional about how you spend your hours. So if your evening isn't serving you, if you find that at the end of the day, you're crashing on the couch and relying on Netflix, that's not me time. You're not giving back to anything. You're not giving back to yourself. That's just you, wanting to float away on a cloud of, comedy Netflix shows or whatever, and, maybe some Cheetos to make yourself feel better. However, if you say to yourself, I want to go to bed, I want to get a really good night's sleep, and I want to make sure that I start the day well, give yourself the me time to say, I'm actually going to bed. Because my me time is going to be spent in the morning when I have the most energy, when I feel the most magnetic, and when I feel, the most me. Because that's the time that nobody else is going to be able to get. And that's the time that you should be able to give to yourself because you deserve it. And if you want to have me time at night, sure, fine. Go ahead, jump into the bath, read a book, give yourself a mani-pedi. But just make sure that you're giving back to yourself and giving yourself something that feels good. Because I can tell you right now, crashing on the couch and watching a couple episodes of Netflix, I've never really known a mom that said like, oh man, after I watch a couple hours of Netflix, I get up and I feel awesome. It's not happening, especially before bed, which is why I think it's really, really important to sort of make this switch in your head that as much as it's, fun to sit in front of the TV and watch and float away, not only is it not doing anything for yourself, it's not doing anything for your physiology, because all of the screens, all of the blue lights are they're disrupting your sleep, which is disrupting your whole system, which is, affecting your metabolism, affecting your cortisol levels, which are going to cause you to store under stress, affecting how your body detoxes, all of these different things. So if there's one thing that I could say, just to close off, in terms of, capitalizing on your me time, flip it. It's not at the end of the day, guys. It should be at the beginning when you feel incredible. And the only way that you're going to be able to do that is if you go to bed. So shut off the damn TV and go to bed. Or maybe have a bath. Do whatever you want to do. But just make sure that if this is the cycle that you find yourself in, break it. Because I can promise you, giving yourself an extra hour in the morning to just chill out, journal, read, whatever you want to do, it's going to make your days completely different, because you start them off by filling your own cup instead of starting them off with an empty cup because of the way that you treated your body the night before. So with that, guys, I just want to sign off. And I hope that, this week, if you want to try to get some more me time for yourself, try this out. Make sure that once, at the end of the night, if you're headed for the TV room to snuggle up with your partner, on the couch, think about how you feel afterwards. Just give it a thought. How do I feel after I get off? How do I feel after I get off the couch, after we're done watching TV? Do I feel energized? Do I feel amazing? Or do I feel drained and like I just want to crash into bed? Because if that's how you're feeling, you should have crashed into bed initially and taken care of your body. Anyways, that's all for now, guys. I hope you found this helpful. As always, if you have any questions, drop them below the video and I'd be more than happy to connect with you. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.